So we're back here looking at the Wirral Peninsula in the 1970s, just exploring round. Now the title and thumbnail of this video, you will already know, but I will not know what that is at this point. But I'll find out. So the first thing we're doing is looking at some comments and questions that you left on the last video. So the first one we're going in to have a look at was asked about Wellington School in Wellington Road in Bebington, which closed in the... so here's the comments here. There's quite a few replies to this as well. It closed in about 93-ish. So we should be able to go in on this and have a look, see what it's like in the 70s. So let's go in there now. We'll find it on a new map first. It was around the oval, wasn't it? There it is. There's Wellington Road here. Let's take a look in the 70s there. So where we're looking at Wellington Road. So here it is here. These buildings here were part of Wellington School. Open till say 93, it's 95, something like that. All knocked down now. Replaced with these houses here. Let's have a quick look, see what it looks like now. So here on Google Maps, we can go in a bit closer. These are the newer houses here. You can clearly see them there, different coloured roofs. Let's go in on the map. Let's go in onto Street View. So here's the location of what was the school in this area here. So here's a picture of the school that we just found on the internet. In fact, I also found a YouTube channel for this particular school. So I've put a link to that down below, and you can go and check that out for yourself. They also have a Facebook page. Right, so the next thing that we're asked to look at was Vauxhalls on Woodchurch Road. I can't remember who posted it, but they used to work there. So let's go in and have a look at it here. So there's on the new map, see the garage here. We do know now that this has actually closed. There is no more, the building's still there, but there is no more car dealership. So let's have a look, there it is here, just by Balls Road and Balls Road East. Now if we have a look at it on the 70s map, looks like a different building there. It's quite blurry if you get too close, but that's where it was here, or that's how it was in the 70s. And then the more modernised big block was put up here. So let's have a look and see what it's like on Google Maps now. So there it is on Google Maps, that building there. It must have still been a Vauxhalls dealership at the time. All those cars are outside. Let's have a look at it on Google Street View. Yeah, so this is when it was still a Vauxhall dealership here. As I said, it's all closed down now. Right next to this church. Let's go down and look at this church, because this church was quite... Oh, there it is there. This church was quite run down for many years and has been amazingly restored. Looks amazing now. It's put to some good use as well. Very well restored. For many years it was falling to bits, basically. And it's been really well done. Yeah, so the next thing we're going to look at is down in at Vauxhalls in Ellesmere Port. Now the reason we brought it down here is because Vauxhalls was built on an old airport, Houghton Airfield. In fact, at one point Houghton Airfield was supposed to be, or was put forward to be the airport for Liverpool over the other side of the Mersey, just over here. But of course, ultimately, Speke became the airport for it. Speke Airport used to be here. Used to be right here. In fact, see if we can see that on the 70s map. Yes, we can. So there's the old Speke Airport. Sorry for leaving the peninsula for just a minute. But there was a link between Houghton Airfield and Speke. There's the old Speke Airport there, which is now an industrial estate. And then the runway that they still use today was an extension of the old airport. And now these fields here is where the departure buildings are along here. Anyway, back to Houghton. Yeah, so here it is in the 70s on Vauxhalls in the 70s, and you can clearly see the runway running right down the middle of it and the taxiways around the outside. If you look at it now, you can't see. Let's go back to Google Earth, and yeah, in fact, this is this is about 2000. You can still see the runway going right down the middle, and the taxiways around the outside. Back to the 70s, you can see it there without the buildings that are there now. And down in the corner here, yeah, there they are. There are still hangars. You can see them now, and you can see them back then. Actually, that pointed me towards the other RAF base on the peninsula, and that's up in West Kirby. So let's go and have a look at that. It's a good reminder, that one. So here it is here, just by Greasby and Newton, but it was called RAF West Kirby. You can see this walking area and rather straight-pathed areas that you can go to. This was RAF West Kirby. Now we did do a video on the outside of RAF West Kirby a few years ago. I'll put a link to that down below. But let's go to Google Street View, and you can see, let's go and have a look what it is like now. Well, when I say now is whenever this photograph was taken. But there you go, you can still see it's a treed area here, but there are footpaths that you can walk down. And a logo here saying RAF West Kirby. Now, if we zoom in with our little man onto Street View, then we'll see the... it's raining there, look at that. You'll see this memorial here. And take a look at our video, I'll go down and have a look yourself, to RAF West Kirby. Now, there was no airport here, but it was a training ground, a boot camp, and things like that. And this whole area was RAF West Kirby. Difficult to imagine now. It's a rare time where a built-up area has returned to fields. It's normally the other way around. But back to the 70s, I just wanted to look at it in the 70s to see what it was like then. Wow, look at that. So right, so back even in the 70s, there was an awful lot of features. Probably knocked down at this point, but of the concrete bases, the actual roads and the pathways were all there. It's quite clearly seen all the different buildings, pathways and things like that. And there it is now. It's quite remarkable how it's all gone back to nature, isn't it? Let's go and have a look at some images of RAF West Kirby. The first one to come up here is our video that we made ourselves here. Let's see what else there is. So here's some here on the Wirral History website here. Here's the entrance that we just shown you before, where that propeller was. There's the picture of the propeller. That's where the entrance is there. Oh, look, and they even had a meteor on the outside of it. It's quite common in RAF bases to have a plane on the outside and on the entrance to it. Here we are in some of the buildings inside. Spitfire there. And there's the gate, possibly around the 70s or something like that. And there is one of the crews stationed in there. I found this as well on another website. This is an actual map of the base and all those buildings. In fact, we can see these rectangular shaped buildings here. If that's the main entrance there, let's go back and look. Yeah, you can see those rectangular shaped buildings on it here. So that's the difference between the 40s during the war, the 70s, as it turned out there, and the 2020s. And the main entrance has gone from looking like this to looking like that. And that's what 70 years looks like.